What's going on, y'all? I hope y'all been taking care of yourselves, man. I don't know if you can really hear me too good. I'm a little far from the camera, but I wanted to come over here with the lake, show some nice scenery. But yeah, today's video, we're gonna talk about self-talk, right? So how do you talk to yourself? What do you tell yourself? How are you thinking? Is it negative? Is it positive? We're gonna talk about that. Because I feel like a lot of people, they don't know and they're not aware of what they're thinking or how they're feeling or what they're even telling themselves, because your thoughts and your words are very powerful. So today we're talking about negative self-talk and how to replace that with more uplifting, positive self-talk in terms of how you view yourself or what you tell yourself, you know, or what you think to yourself, or what, you know, things like that. So, if you're the type of person where, let's just say, you always tell yourself you can't, or when it comes to situations, you always, you know, make yourself feel bad, or, you know, you make yourself feel like a victim in certain circumstances, you know, no matter what it is, no matter how severe or how light, if you're telling yourself negative things, you're going to believe those things, and those are going to become your reality. So if you're consistently telling yourself like, oh, I'm not good enough for this, or oh, you know, I'll never be able to do this, or oh, you know, cards wasn't dealt in my favor, whatever it might be, you know, or maybe you feel like you're unworthy of certain things. Oh, nobody can do this for me, or, you know, I'm not sure what examples are personal to you, but basically being aware of what you're thinking, whatever you tell yourself is going to be true. So no matter how bad you tell yourself, you know what I'm saying, if you just hate yourself, you're gonna start to experience that and attract that type of, you know, life, basically. So I feel like people don't pay attention to how they feel or what they think or what they say, and they might just brush it to the side and, you know, think that it's all right. You know, I feel like some people also go and chase exterior things, exterior success, to try to hide and numb the internal pain or the internal doubt or whatever it might be, you know? And then, like I said, some people might not even feel like they're worthy enough to be in a certain position in life or attract certain things, you know, or even be happy. Some people don't even feel like they're worthy of happiness. You know, but it's all stemming from their belief systems of how they think and what they tell themselves in their brain. You know, this topic could really stretch deeper than just simple examples. It could go to the core root of certain problems. Some people really just manipulate themselves to believe certain things, and when you repeatedly tell yourself certain things and you believe it, then that's the direction you're going to go with. You know, so just be aware of, you know, what you're telling yourself. You know, when you're coming across a challenge in life, how do you respond? What do you tell yourself? When it comes to trying to achieve what you believe in your dreams, like, do you set boundaries and tell yourself like, oh, well, you know, it's damn near impossible to get there, or no, it's not, blah, blah, blah. Like, you got to pay attention. And when it comes to, like, you know, how you feel on the inside, you got to pay attention to how you tell yourself. Do you beat yourself up in the mind? You know, do you tell yourself that you're not worthy of love? Or do you tell yourself that you're the worst person ever? You know, that shit, it weighs down on you, you know? And I'm here to bring awareness to that. So this is really a serious topic, because how you feel about yourself, what you believe about yourself, and what you say about yourself is how you're gonna carry yourself. All of those things involve you. Nobody else is putting that energy on you. Now, in some circumstances, you might have been influenced by other people's negative self-talk and them telling you what you are and what you're not. And then you believe that because, you know, if it's your parent telling you, oh, this is just the way life is, or oh, blah, 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 you know, I understand that. But you got to realize that you have full control over like what you accept as true and what you believe within yourself. You have full control over that. So when it's nighttime, you know what I'm saying, and it's just your own thoughts, like, you can decide if you're going to tell yourself certain things that will only hurt you and keep you lower, or if you're going to inspire yourself, no matter how bad or no matter how hard things might be. So, and nobody else will truly know everything that happens in your mind, because you're not going to tell everybody everything, of course. You're not going to tell everybody every problem that you have, but you got to just be aware of what you're thinking, man. You got to understand that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. And if you observe your thoughts and able to pick and choose which ones you want to keep and which ones are actually healthy for you mentally, then you will be able to transcend that mindset into the reality that you're living in. So like let's say one person is saying, oh, only a few % of people make it here. Right? Let's say it's an achievable goal that they want to achieve, but they just believe and tell themselves that they're not going to achieve that. Oh, I'm never gonna make it here. I'm always gonna be this. Well, damn, guess what? When you tell yourself that, that's what you're gonna believe. That's what you're gonna accept. But let's say you're over here, person B tells himself or herself that, hey, it might be hard right now, but it's always gonna get better. Or yeah, that might be a far-fetched goal, but I'm still gonna get there, type stuff. So it's all about how you think, and then how you think is how you move. So if, let's say, you're thinking on the negative spectrum, well, guess what? When it starts to show true, as it starts to reveal itself that, yeah, it's negative, and yeah, you're not getting where you want to be, you're gonna fall pity to that, and you're gonna accept that, and you're not gonna try to fight it, because you already predicted that that's what the result was gonna be. But if you are on the bright side and you tell yourself like, nah, I'm gonna make it, I'm achieving it, blah, 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 however you want to, whatever example, and then let's say you face a hardship where it's looking kind of iffy, well, guess what? You are firmly believing that you're still gonna get to this place in life, so that no matter how hard things get, you're gonna fight back. You're not gonna accept the failure or the opposite. You see what I'm saying? So it's based on how you think. It's how you react in life. Now I'm not no doctor, and I ain't no therapist. So this ain't professional help. I'm just giving y'all tips on understanding y'all mental, understanding what's coming through your mind. If you're not paying attention to that, if you're not aware of what you're telling yourself, probably start taking time for yourself and just being like, okay, if you hear a certain thought, or you hear yourself speaking badly about yourself, just catch yourself and be like, nah, reverse that and bring it a positive. Even if it's hard for you to believe it, eventually, after you consistently repeating it to yourself, you're gonna start to believe it. So be aware of what you're telling yourself, because if you're constantly telling yourself bad things, you're gonna accept that as your reality, right? And your words and your thoughts are very powerful. And like I just said, if you don't believe it at first, just keep telling yourself. Basically, lie to yourself until it becomes the truth. So if you tell yourself like, oh, I love myself, but let's say deep within you really have no love for yourself, well, guess what? After you continue to tell yourself you love yourself so many times, you're gonna start finding reasons why you love yourself, instead of finding reasons why you hate yourself. You see, it's all correlation to what you think. So, yeah, I kind of already explained this. Like, if you're in a bad spot, just think more positive. No matter how bad it might be, just consciously decide, like, nah, I'm gonna think more positive. I'm gonna, express more uplifting thoughts to myself, so that every day when I'm moving, I'm feeling better about myself, and I can take action in a better way, in a more uplifting standpoint. You could also do positive affirmations, which are like, I am affirmations. So I have daily affirmations, that I be wanting to speak to myself daily. And, sometimes I might forget a day or two, but the main thing is I consistently tell myself certain things every day. Why? Because when you speak it out there, and when you speak it, the universe can hear it. And when you stand by it, you start to really live that. So if I tell myself, I love myself, right? Because like in my journey, before I even knew about spirituality, I was really like self-hate all the way. But I was smiling at everybody else. But I was self-hate, depression, anxiety, fear, just everything. Not everything, but I was kind of just mentally lost. And then I started telling myself I love myself. I wrote it down, and I tell myself, and then eventually I actually started feeling it. because I was trying hard to make it true, because I wanted to love myself. And then over time, it naturally just becomes you, because you start to feel it, and then you accept that as your new reality instead of accepting the old sayings and old ways of thinking that you used to tell yourself. So just speaking about how you feel or how you want to feel, just speaking it. And then even the thinking part is a little harder, because you can speak something, right? But when things crush your mind, sometimes we're not really paying attention. Sometimes we don't really pay attention to the deep core of what we think and what we tell ourselves. So you got to pay attention to that too, because your thoughts come first. Your thoughts come first before anything. Even if here's an example, even if you're trying to write something, you have to think about that word before you can write it, right? So every thought becomes an action. So what you think is what you do, basically. And then your mind is very powerful. If you allow yourself to believe certain things, then that's going to become your reality, because the power of thought drives everything. It all starts up here. And I just wanted to bring this video to you guys to bring awareness and say, hey, if you are kind of beating yourself up in your own mind, or if you're telling yourself you're not worthy, or if you're telling yourself you're not this and you're not that, then guess what? You're not. It was a quote, I forgot who it was by. He said, whether you tell yourself you can or you can't, you're right. So if you tell yourself you can't, you're right. If you tell yourself you can, you're right. Why? Because you'll find reasons as to why it's true. So pick your choosing. I always try to uplift myself, even though sometimes, I still might have my days where I'm not feeling the best. But I always come back and try to uplift myself. So I wanted to bring this awareness to you guys. Hopefully you guys were able to learn something and really tap into your thoughts and tap into awareness of what you're thinking and what you're telling yourself, because what you're telling yourself is true. So be cautious and be mindful of what you tell yourself and what you think to yourself and what you believe. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to bring this quick video. I hope y'all like the scenery. It's pretty nice to me. But yeah, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. I love y'all. Peace.